What about the back office? How important are mentors in the back office? How do you use mentorship programs in the back office of a facility? And let's go with Elizabeth.
I can give you an example of what it was very free form. When you're talking about the back office or administrative or office positions, we also at one of my companies facilitated kind of that open, what would you like to learn about? You know, I'd have people coming in my office saying, you know, I'm looking for more. They were ready to grow, but in an administrative role, what else could there be to learn about the company or laterally or move toward a promotion? And in certain cases, there's not like a perfect roadmap, right? Especially if you can go laterally. You know, some people aren't looking to always go into a management position. So I'm looking at this now, I'm putting my employee hat on, right? We're talking about career succession for what is good for the company, but what is also good for the employee. Some don't want to go into a management role. Some just want to learn, grow, develop, kind of expand laterally. So I had a few people come into my office sometimes for career advice. What is out there? Everything that's out there. I don't want to go in sales. I don't want to go into management. Well, what interests you? And I would give them like a piece of homework for their own development. You know, I don't have a cookie cutter approach for you. What do you need? What is it that interests you in the company now that you've been here a year or two, maybe longer, and you interact with all these different departments in your role, or you at least know people? What interests you? And go talk to that person. Either you know, go out to lunch with them and pick their brain, or literally spend some time in their department. You know, Claire, I can help you with that, but tell me what you would like to learn more about up close and personal, and do like a job shadowing. So I would encourage that. It's very free form, very organic, but it also empowers the employee to take action. There's nothing wrong with someone interdepartmentally asking questions in another department. Sometimes they don't think they can. They think they might be disrupting or that it's taking away from their job, but it's a couple hours for them to feel like, you know, I want to go check out what it's like to work in the marketing department or in supply chain or purchasing, and to say it's okay for you to take a couple hours out of your week, talk to your manager, and I can help facilitate too with that other department, and buddy up with someone and just hang out and ask questions. And in one case, one of the employees came back and said, yeah, she did that. She checked out 2 or 3 different places, and it helped her decide what she didn't want to do. So that's critical too. I think if the more that you can peek over each other's shoulders and be interested, because if you go to, you know, those employees who they're good at their job and they like what they're doing, and boy, like you get me talking about HR, it's hard to shut me up. Other people are like that too. They like to share what they're working on. They like to see that you're interested, and they'd have no problem with that. So I encourage that organically, but sometimes employees don't, oh, well, I can do that. So encourage those creative, spontaneous conversations. And if they don't take the initiative, then quite honestly, it's on them. You know, it's a partnership with the employee where, sure, the company, the leadership wants to help foster employees' development paths, but they also have a responsibility to take ownership and mark their own path in those cases. So you're giving them a couple ideas and see if they take it or not.
Question building on that, Elizabeth, do you need to have some sort of kind of minimal level of training, or at least, you know, instruction for the mentors or the, you know, the people who are being shadowed, so that they, you know, kind of have some idea of what could be expected of them?
Yeah, I think in that case, I would, because it's like an informal conversation. It's not like there's really, for instance, there may not even be a job opening yet, right? So it's just, tell me more about what you're doing. So in those cases, I think it would be helpful to talk with that. And it's not always the manager. You might be pairing up with another admin person or support role in that department, explain, just share what you're doing. We want to share communication and better foster interdepartmentally and just organically grow these career paths. But it also has another side effect. People start to understand their role in the company better, and if they're connected, which inevitably, you know, from beginning to end, all of the jobs in the company are somewhat connected, gives them a better understanding, and then it fosters a better, it changes the energy. Oh, I've never talked to you before because I've never needed to interact with your department in my day-to-day work, but now that I have, the silos kind of break down a little bit. So that is a positive side effect of it. But if you're looking for, like I described with the apprenticeship program, it is a very structured, the mentor would have to get a training or, you know, explain really what their expectations are for that it's a more regimented approach.
Jamie, your thoughts?
You know, I agree. Mentorship that's great, but I do believe it's just like leadership. Of if I throw somebody into mentorship role, but they don't know how to mentor. So I think there does have to be some thought process on what does that mean, and what are you really trying to do? So if as a mentor, I'm trying to teach them a technical skill that I'm very good at, okay, but you know, again, what am I trying to teach them to do? Am I capable of doing that? So just because I know how to do it doesn't mean I know how to articulate it to somebody else. So I think that's key. I think that's the best way to learn. If you can have people doing hands-on and with somebody they can talk to. And you're right, you know, going back to kind of Elizabeth's thing of also, can that mentor say, again, is this right person, right seat? What else am I seeing in this person? You know, we always say that to be successful, a job has to be something you're capable of doing, that you like to do, and that it fits your lifestyle. So are we teaching mentors to look for those things? And, you know, are we looking at strengths, you know, kind of the strengths finder concept of, okay, I'm going to focus more on putting somebody in a role that plays to their strengths as opposed to spending a lot of time and energy trying to shore up a weakness. If my focus is all on shoring up a weakness, that's probably not the right seat for that person. So I think the mentorship piece is key, and it's the great way to do it, but it still comes back to, am I capable of being a good mentor? Am I capable of being a good leader? And I don't know, I've seen a lot of great companies that have mentorship programs, but I've never seen one that said, okay, here's how we train our mentors to be mentors.
I'm sure